Hey guys, we meet again. My name is Zaid Rahman, and today I'm gonna tell you a story about three brave men from Chernobyl whose whose role were mentioned in the miniseries Chernobyl, but I personally think wasn't highlighted enough. So I believe the name of those three brave men is Alexei Enenenko, Valery Bespalov, and Boris Boranov. I I I hope I pronounced their name correctly. So the story is that when the reactor number 4 exploded, which I talked about in my last video, so when the reactor 4 exploded, there was a massive pool of water underneath the reactor 4, which contained like 5 million gallons of water, which is equivalent to 18 million liter of water. So there was a danger in if the exploded particles or the radioactive particles came in contact with the water that was in the massive pool underneath the reactor, then there would be a steam explosion which would be even dangerous than the initial explosion that happened in Chernobyl, which I talked about in the last video. So there was a crisis of that crisis, and people were expecting that there would be another explosion if the water in the pool wasn't drained. So the water of the drain were, spoiler alert, drained by those three brave men. But what happened was, the basement where the valve would open was flooded in water, and the water were probably radioactive. And so those three men manned up and went for it, and because they heard that the explosion would be very excessive, or very have a massive impact than the initial one, and so they wanted to stop it from happening. They wanted to prevent Chernobyl from have getting any other distress, and something like that, something along the line. So they manned up and they went inside the basement to drain the water, even after they knew that it was possibly a suicide mission, because the radioactive water that they were going into might kill them eventually. We're all gonna die eventually, but it's being assured that they might die. But they lived. It has been confirmed that they lived more than they were supposed to. So when they went inside the basement, there was very it was very dark, and the torchlight or the light they took with them stopped working completely. And but they went and they found the switch to the valve, and they drained the water. If they couldn't drain the water, if the water wasn't drained, the other three reactor core would have been destroyed by the steam explosion that I was talking about earlier. So these three men helped save Chernobyl and the world eventually. So, and there's one thing I want to tell that missed in my last video was, the all the accurate informations are still top secret, because Soviet Union tried to downplay the event, and later Soviet Union divided into 15 republics. So that's basically it. We salute those three men for their bravery and for the immense courage and their possible sacrifice. I hope those men good fortune, and that's it for me today. See you next time.